blah, 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 blah.
In an unshocking and completely predictable turn of events, Kyle Kulinski has uncritically regurgitated a story from The Lever about automatic refunds for canceled or delayed flights. In this video, I'm going to briefly describe the situation and explain how lazy commentators like Kyle spread misleading or incomplete information about topics they refuse to research. Let's get into it.
This is absolutely unconscionable. Let me walk you through it here. And by the way, credit to The Lever, David Schroeder's outlet, because they're the original folks who reported this fact, and this is going to make your blood boil. After the Biden administration issued a final rule last week that would require airlines to automatically issue refunds to passengers whose flights are delayed or canceled, four lawmakers bankrolled by the airline industry introduced must-pass legislation that could undermine the effort. As The Lever reported, the lawmakers, Ted Cruz, Maria Cantwell, Sam Graves, and Rick Larson, perfectly bipartisan, by the way, introduced a new Federal Aviation Administration reauthorization deal that would require passengers to send a written or electronic request in order to receive a full refund for a canceled or significantly delayed flight. The publication notes that under this provision, airlines would only have to pay refunds to the subset of passengers who have the disposable time and patience to go through a notoriously arduous refund process.
Let me break this down so we're all on the same page. Kyle is correct that a regulation was recently passed that would require airlines to automatically refund passengers for canceled and delayed flights. This rule did not exist previously. At the same time, there has been an airline bill working its way through Congress that does not include this requirement. What I take issue with is the Lever's characterization of how the bill would affect the refund process. The Lever says the following, quote, "A shift from automatic refunds to the old system could be a financial boon for airlines that have been lobbying against refund regulation. Instead of having to automatically pay out refunds to all affected passengers, airlines would only have to pay refunds to the subset of passengers who have the disposable time and patience to go through a notoriously arduous refund process." As you can see, this quote suggests that the bill in Congress would maintain the status quo rather than allow for automatic refunds. For example, the quote says that the bill would shift back to the quote old system. However, that is not the case. The bill adds consumer protections on the issue of refunds by requiring airlines to create easily accessible refund buttons on their websites, and also requiring that refunds be processed in 7 days for credit cards or 20 days for cash purchases. You would not know this if you listened to Kyle or read the Lever's article. Also, note that Kyle is reading from Rolling Stone and not The Lever. This means that Kyle is regurgitating a regurgitation of an already misleading article. This is a bad way to provide commentary, but a good way to stay uninformed. Now, keeping in mind that Kyle has done no research on this issue, listen to some of his insane ramblings.
Okay, you're not going to be surprised to learn that these politicians who are trying to change this rule and make it worse, they are the top recipients of airline cash. And the whole reason you would change the law so it's not an automatic refund. You have to go through a process step by step and do a call or make an electronic request and jump through a bunch of hoops. The only reason to do that is because they want to help the airlines and make the airlines keep your money. That's the only reason. So this is literally just, hey, average Americans, go f*** yourself. Average Americans, we're against you. I'm on the side of the airlines. They pay me. They give me money. They give me campaign contributions. I get in power. I serve them. I super serve my donors because I'm a corrupt little bitch boy. Sometimes you get hit with a story that's just like the perfect embodiment of our politics. This is one right here. For once, the government actually does some good automatic refunds if your airline's f***ing with you. And then the airline-funded politicians step in and go, no, we must water this down. We must make it worse. We must make it so that the airlines can steal your money. This is insane, man. You know how many politicians are funded by Wall Street, by big banks, by the insurance companies, by the Israel lobby, by the Saudi lobby? I mean, we can go on and on here, right? The NRA on the Republican side, big oil. Like, this is literally the core of the problem of our politics, is that these people are all bought and paid for.
Kyle's reaction perfectly embodies my issue with this reporting. The Lever focuses heavily on the lobbying effort to kill automatic refunds. Kyle is very upset about the lobbying effort because it confirms his biases about outside money corrupting politics. However, neither the Lever nor Kyle actually engage with the policy on a substantive level. Instead, they just assume that anything potentially touched by a lobbyist is bad, and therefore they rile themselves up for no reason. Let me give you an example of when an automatic refund might not be best for the consumer. Refunds can take days to process. So what happens if your flight is canceled and you do not have the money to rebook the flight? In that situation, a credit or voucher would be preferable, which is exactly what the bill provides for. That is, the option to get a credit or a refund. As I said before, the bill also makes the refund process much easier, so this seems like a complete non-issue to me. I'll conclude with this. Do some research before you trust any news outlet or commentator. This is particularly important when a story confirms your biases because those stories are easier to accept uncritically. This is also why I put all my sources in the description for you to review. Anyway, if you've made it this far, please give me a few more seconds. I am making content on this channel regularly, and I am trying to turn this into a viable product. All I ask is that you please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Leave your thoughts in the comments and I'll respond. Thank you for watching.